Right, we're all here. Splendid. So, as we're all aware, our supplies have dwindled and we are now in a dire situation. Decisions need to be made on how we move forward.
Oh dear, have we eaten all those tins?
We finished the tin goods last week, Judith. Remember?
Last week? I can't remember what I did yesterday, let alone last week. I've lost track of time.
I think we're in spring. It's difficult to tell these days with nothing growing.
No new growth this year. It's such a shame. Those leaves, they could have been contaminated.
Too late now.
Sorry, can we focus? So, we've finished the tin goods and pretty much picked the forest clean of any available or edible foliage and wildlife.
Except for that bird up there.
Shall I get the slingshot?
Easier just to blast it with Richard's rifle.
Oh, do we have to? It's such a pretty little thing, singing its little heart out. Can't we let it live?
Common sense, ladies. One tiny bird is not enough to feed the 4 of us. And I'm not wasting any bullets. We have to save our ammunition for the wild ones.
The people eaters, you mean? Oh, what's that word? Oh, cannonballs. Cannibal. Oh, isn't that what I said? No, you said cannonball. Yes, but it's cannibal.
Can we please focus? Thank you. Right. So, now, as we can see, we're in a pretty dire straits. Physically, we can't afford to lose any more weight. I don't know about you, but I lost another tooth this morning, and I've started to notice our hair's getting thin.
I lost another toenail last night, and the open sore on my leg just won't heal.
We must get protein.
Oh, you're not gonna make us up sticks and move on, are you? I don't think I could manage it. Not at my age, and I'm so tired all the time. We'll have to if we want to find food, Judith. There's nothing around here for miles.
We need to put it to a vote. Who thinks we should move on? Hands? So that's me and Liz. Sophie?
Well, we can't move on with Judith in this condition, Richard. She can barely walk.
I can barely walk.
She won't last 5 minutes.
I won't, not 5 minutes. Not with these legs. And my hair is falling out. Or is it my teeth? Is it my teeth that are falling out or yours, Richard? I forget now.
Which brings us to a very difficult decision, doesn't it?
What decision?
Look, can I speak to you two in private for a moment? Excuse us, Judith.
You want to leave Judith behind, don't you, Richard?
You can stay with her, Sophie. Richard and I can go on.
Look, the thing is, I think we've come to that time.
What time?
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice ourselves, you mean? Kill ourselves?
What? No, not all of us. One of us.
One of us? Sacrifice one of us for what?
For the others. You know?
You mean you want to eat one of us? Is that it?
We need protein.
You want to eat Judith? Is that it?
Look, she can't come with us. She'll only slow us down. And we can't leave her here on our own. We need to put her out of her misery. And if we did that, it would be foolish to waste the protein.
Oh my God, I can't believe you're even suggesting this.
Liz, what do you think?
Repulsive as the notion is, I think Richard may be right.
What? Liz, no. I mean, come on. Think of your mother. Could you eat her in this situation?
She's not in this situation, thankfully.
Look, we can't think about it in those terms. We have to embrace our current situation and ensure our survival in any way.
Embrace our current situation? Embrace? Not quite the right word, is it, Richard? Enjoy, you mean? Certainly not embrace, for God's sake.
You know what I mean. Let's face it, we're enduring, Judith, aren't we? I mean, it's become a real problem.
It's become a real problem. She. Judith is a person, not an object. A person that I've come to think of as, well, a mother figure, I suppose.
We're all very fond of Judith, Sophie.
Oh, shut up, Liz. Fond. How can you say you're fond of Judith when you're planning to cut her up and roast her for dinner?
As I said, we can't think about it in those terms.
Those terms? You cold-hearted son of a bitch. You two have spoken about this already, haven't you? Been having little chats, have you? Already decided, isn't it? Ha! You two, thick as thieves.
Look, it's self-preservation, Sophie. That's all in a difficult world.
You two-faced cow. All sweet and caring to her face, and then behind her back plotting to, what did you say, Richard? Put her out of her misery. Ha! Put her out of your misery, really. Put her out of her misery is something you say about animals. Judith is not an animal. Do not treat her like one. We eat animals. Judith is a human. We do not eat humans, no matter how desperate the situation has become.
Well, I'm very sorry, Sophie, but the decision has been made.
And who are you to decide, eh? Who the hell do you think you are? God? What the hell gives you the right to decide who lives and who dies in this hell that we're living in right now, eh? You have no right to make that decision. Judith has as much right to live as the rest of us.
He was a sweet little dicky bird. Tweet, 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 she went. Sweetly she sang to me till all my money was spent. Then she went off song. We parted on fighting terms. She was one of the early birds, but I was one of the worms. Oh, my dear old mom used to sing that to me when I was a little girl. You know, I always thought it was rather sad, the way they parted on fighting terms, the bird and the worm. I hope we don't part on fighting terms. You know, they say that the early bird catches the worm. Worm. People call you a worm. It's not meant as a compliment, is it? Who do you know? The word worm is often used to describe creatures now classified as snakes, serpents, and dragons. With symbolic meaning is divided between death and renewal. Who is the worm and who is the bird in this little family, do you think? I've always thought of myself as the early bird.
Are you all right, Judith?
Oh, quite all right. Thank you, Sophie. Of course, though, if I am the early bird, that makes you, Richard, the worm.
Sorry? I don't know what you mean.
You're doing with the rifle, Judith. Sophie, dear, why don't you come over here by me? That's it. Noted, Richard.
Yes?
Judith, you shouldn't play around with a loaded gun. You could kill somebody. Kill the pig, cut his throat, spill his blood.
She's gone mad!
On the contrary, Richard. Now I am thinking more clearly now than I have since this whole miserable existence began 2 years ago. William Golding, by the way. Lord of the Flies. Yeah, that's what the boys chant in the book. They've become savages, you see. They've turned on each other. Well, Golding wrote the book to demonstrate how we are all, given the right circumstances, able to inflict evil acts upon each other. Well, especially when it comes to, now, what was that you said it was, Liz? Oh, yes, self-preservation. What we'll do to ensure our own survival. He was drawing on his experiences from the war. Oh, forgive me. I am rambling now, aren't I? What was that you said, Richard, about saving the ammunition for the people eaters? You see, I heard what you said over there. I may be old and broken, but I'm not deaf. And if I am not very much mistaken, Richard, you have become a people eater, a cannibal. Have you not? You and Liz, you want to sacrifice me. But you see, I am the early bird, and you two are the worms. Dire straits, that's what we find ourselves in. Now, Sophie, dear, why don't you throw another log on the fire? We're going to have roast for dinner tonight.